Hello there, how are you? Welcome back. Well, today the construction on the bathroom continues with the actual water lines, the mixing valve for the shower, the valve setup for the toilet feed, and the under the vanity setup for the sink feed. Now just know that I'm just going to get the valves set in place here for the shower, and then I'm going to have the toilet line capped and the two sink lines capped, and then put this under a 24-hour test. Just a little hint here. Coarse threads are used when you attach anything to wood. The fine thread are when you attach anything to metal. So here I'm attaching this wood to these metal studs, so I'm using the coarse thread. Where when I'm attaching the drywall into the metal studs, I'm using the fine threads. Now make sure you place your mixing valve the direction that it needs to go. As you notice there, left was hot, right was cold. We need the shower feed pointed up. But if I had a tub, there would also be a valve pointing down. So make sure when you put your mixing valve in, you have it put in the appropriate direction. The other thing that I'm using are these 1/2-inch PEX elbows. They have a rubber gasket in there, so I'm not having to fuss with any Teflon tape. Simply hand tighten them down, crimp the PEX onto it. You can take them on and off as you need to when you're building your system. It really is pretty foolproof. Now I did set my mixing valve up 48 inches on center to the shower floor or shower pan base. And then from the shower pan base up to the shower head fitting, it is 72 inches. The other thing that y'all will notice is the pipe has black tape around it, kind of creating like a grommet. So as this PEX feeds through the holes that I've drilled in these metal studs, it'll have some protection. And you'll notice later on, I didn't film it, but I did go back and fill all the voids where I drilled it out with a expanding foam. I'll tell you what, it's pretty cool. The new expanding foam cans that they have, the tips or the hose, what are they, tips, feeds, whatever, anyway. They're actually designed for multiple uses, so it's not like you open the can, you have to use every single thing in the can or you lose it. Now here I'm just double checking for the dimensions of my finished wall. So this is simulating having drywall and tile, or I should say hardy board and tile, knowing that I have the correct distance, so when I put that sconce cover over the mixing valve, it'll be appropriate. I'll have the perfect offset. Now that that's in place, it's just a matter of reattaching these elbows. And I tell you what, having the rubber gasket in there, that is just absolutely awesome. It's a game changer. Now, I'm going to throw a caveat out there. If I were on city water, I think I would be hesitant to use those, only because city water is so heavily chlorinated, whereas my water out here is straight up water collection with the multiple system filtration in place. So there's no harsh chemicals that are going to come in contact with that rubber gasket. Now this is setting up my toilet valve assembly with the T, where the T will run it off over to the faucet, but it'll also feed the cold water to the toilet. It's supposed to be 8 inches from the center of the toilet drain over to the left, and then 7 inches up, according to everything that I read. It's a rough estimate or a rough eyeball. Is it absolutely perfect? I don't know. PEX is so flexible, but it's pretty doggone close. Now these little caps, that is a game changer. They're expensive. They're like $8 each, but it gives me the opportunity to pressure test my water lines prior to putting the Durarock and the drywall up. I can make sure I don't have any leaks at any of my crimps, because I'll leave it overnight. Once it's good to go, then I can put the Durarock and the drywall up with absolute confidence. Alrighty then. I want to thank you all for stopping by. Have an absolutely wonderful and blessed week. I'll see you next time. Take care.